So yeah, let's jump back in. We're gonna continue the spider. Um, I was last time I was placing like the foundation block for the legs. Let's get rid of a few things, even the torso maybe. Yeah. So we have to continue what's in red right now. So there's the synthetic muscles, the straps, the like fascia pieces here, the cloth parts, and well, at least for the thigh, which is what we're concentrating on. And yeah, so that's pretty much all the layers that we need to do for the thigh. Um, so we could jump into the synthetic muscles, placing them. It's going to be quite laborious. I've just realized, looking at the upper body, that I haven't put details on the synthetic muscles. So I think I'm just gonna go do that for a second. Okay. Just so that they're not like too too boring. I'm just going to add like a few things here and there. Oh, they're still dynamic subdivision. Yeah, we're gonna apply them as a normal subdivision. And what I think I want to do is maybe just like add like one or two like subtle extrusion maybe. The arm is going to be about here. Something like that. Let's just get rid of the other side. Unmask it. Store that in the morph target. Oh, Keenan, hi. Jess, hello. So a little blur and sharpen always makes the mask a little bit smoother, especially the contour. Let's push this in a little bit using the out button so that it moves with the normal. Blur the mask, smooth this out a bit. Okay, no, let's completely remove the mask. Even smoother than that, it's too pronounced. Yeah, the resolution is a bit low for the synthetic muscles. It can ramp up like pretty fast, so I think I'm just going to keep it like this. But the goal was just to have like a subtle little detail here, so there we go. 3D Arc Expedition. All ready for the 8-month sub. Thank you so much. It's pretty cool. And hello to you as well. I think I didn't make it deep enough in some areas, so I'm just going to I still want it to be smooth. It's just it's not deep enough, so I'm just gonna deepen it and re-smooth it after. Oops. No, I didn't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to try a bit of the same, but with alphas instead. Salut Marco, bonjour, bonjour. What's the poly count for a subtool usually? I try to stick around 8 million max. Sometimes I can go higher, much higher also, but like I always find performances take a big drop after that. Also, for of course, the capacities of your computer is going to dictate a lot of that. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Just with the alpha, that was a better choice. Here we don't need more detail. I think it's fine for the moment like that. So there we go. It's just going to be a little bit less boring. Should I do it here? Let's do it here. Not make it size. Let's try to make it consistent. Too strong. Okay. All right. It's a good little addition, so that's good. All right. Let's get rid of the head. So yeah, let's Oh, we still have two metal parts here. We have like this thing and that descends here like that. So yeah, before we do the synthetic muscles here, I'm going to finish those parts. I think that this one I'm going to start from this here. This also has a dynamic symmetry attached to it, so it's going to help to create this object also in symmetry. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to apply its subdivisions. Okay, I'm just gonna inflate it to be able to see it, because right now I don't. It's like inside the other one. There we go. I've been using a lot the polyframe, the wireframe with color, but with removing the lines, just as a way to identify the subtool on which I'm working, since it colors it, and I find it's pretty useful. So now we're working in dynamic symmetry. So this object is placed not in an orthographic way, but we're working on it orthographically. Not every tool works, but enough to get around for most pieces, or a satisfying amount of pieces, I'd say. Okay, let's delete this. So this is about the shape of the object we want to create. Let's just do a little Z remesh. So to do Z remesh, when you use dynamic symmetry, just the mirror and weld is not going to work. Sorry, the Z remesh is not going to work. So what we're gonna do is, I should add this button in my shortcuts actually. I mean, I could do that. So you see, like here, probably what I'm going to want to add like a button. So I'm actually going to do it now. Custom UI, nope, not custom UI. Interface? No, I don't remember. Enable customize. I'm going to temporarily dock this menu here. It's this one. I'm going to dock it to the left here. I'm going to add it there. The button I'm looking for is geometry, modify topology, and delete symmetry. Delete by symmetry. There we go. So now I'm going to click Control Alt so I can move the button here. Delete by symmetry. Oh, you know what? I'm also going to add another one. Inflate. There we go. And there we go. We can close that, get out of customize. So now they're here when I call for them. Awesome. Let's store config and save UI. Okay, so back to this. So delete by symmetry. Now just remesh. Is it remesh? Oh, get out of symmetry first. Okay, the edges are not super good. Let's get back to here. Let's mask the border of this. Invert mask, polish, just to smooth it out. There you go, that should help. Now again, delete by symmetry. We're not in symmetry, so there we go. Z remesh, that's too high. Ah, that's going to be good enough. And good enough. If you don't see the polyframe well, there we go. And now mirror and weld, so we get back our symmetry here. And you can reactivate the symmetry. And we're still working in orthographic. So there we go. Everything is good. So I'm just going to go get the shape that I need. Here there's a little thing that I don't like in the mesh. I'm just going to take a second to collapse it using the Z-Modeler tools. There we go. That's about the shape. It's not placed correctly, but the shape is okay. So to place it correctly, I'm actually going to use the gizmo. The only thing about the gizmo is I must not lose its orientation for the symmetry. So there's like not much operation I can do with the gizmo without losing my stuff. But like turning in that axis, it doesn't like fuck up anything, so it's fine. And so now we're a bit better placed. Okay. Now back to work. Hi Marco, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Roro Art. Hey Marco, do you think ZBrush on iPad will replace the PC version? No, it will absolutely not replace it. But I tried it and it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. They did a good job with having the software on a mobile platform. Okay. Let's just smooth it out a bit with H polish, light strokes. Pretty much all the time light strokes with the H polish. Starting this, let's test the thickness. Let's change the elevation. There we go. No, not thick enough. Should be good. Let's just see like how everything is going into each other. Okay, let's push it a little bit more inside around this area because like the cloth is going to go on top, so we don't want to lose that for sure. This is going to be like a metal thing going from here to here. All right, So dynamic, if I test with dynamic smoothing, you can see that it's like all smooth now. We're gonna add creases, so just the outside is hard surfaced. And we're gonna use auto group to assign poly groups depending on the angle of stuff, but we're gonna reduce the angle so we capture a little bit more different poly groups per angle like that. And instantly we can crease those angles. Change the crease levels so it smooths at a lower level. Yeah, that's good. If I do polish crisp edge, yeah, it does smooth the inside of the surface a little bit. It does pinches my corners though, but that's fine. That's okay. Maybe I will uncrease these here. That's a big difference. Okay, we'll use this as a placeholder for that piece. So this is going to be the cloth piece that goes over. We're just going to draw over the intention of what we're going to go for. Alex Martini, hi. Do you think your art would sell as well as it does even if you didn't put so much polish into every shape? I mean, if you sculpted more loosely. Um, the depends for what the purpose is, because like the if you're doing solely something where like it's just for the like the design of it, you can just like keep at the blocking, because seen from afar, well, the blocking right now is a bit too rough, but what is not like polished from the leg right now, we're still reading the intention like of what it's supposed to be. Well, I mean, we're not far. Like I said, like it's a bit too loose, the blocking on this one. But if you're aiming to just do something for the design without too much polish, you're aiming for only like readability. This is your minimum level of polish, is like, is the readability okay? And this is what you're gonna focus on. If you start polishing like me for, let's say if you were to make like a video game character out of that, like in real time and everything, or like a print, well then at this point you need to apply polish on it for it to look good. So yeah, it really depends just your, what's the goal at the end. Yeah, I had a temporary bug. Okay, we're gonna try like that. Now there's just like this little like metal part right there. Okay, so for this middle part, we're going to just duplicate our leg mesh. Just isolate it with a mask. Also, we're gonna need like a subtool here to insert. I think we're just gonna grab something easy from the torso. Like those cables here. So duplicate, bring it in the leg section. Let's just grab one. Let's grab it in symmetry though. Oh. Oh wait, I was in dynamic symmetry, that's why. Okay. Okay. Actually, Alex Martini, the to your question also, if my art would sell if I didn't polish it. It's a lot a question that the public decides, and not me. So depends. Like I can't control the public's like emotion, right? We're like gonna clean the silhouette a little bit manually. Let's remesh this. There we go, just to have it a little bit cleaner. So I think I'm gonna have like hard cuts here, and this here will kind of like dip down inside the mesh. So I'm going to I'm already gonna use dam standard and kind of like push this section in like this with the dam standard brush. Can also do like manual fixes with the move brush. I'm gonna add something. This is gonna require me to change the mesh a little bit. And we're gonna extrude. Oh. Oh wait, it doesn't work with the mask. Yeah, it doesn't work with the mask. Yeah, we're just gonna delete the edge after then. All right. Looks clean enough to add a wait. It's a little bit of like smooth relax here. Smooth is gonna make the shape melt too much. Smooth relax will keep a little bit more of what I just did right there. Let's add a thickness to that. Just a little bit more. Let's get rid of the mesh under it. This way we can observe the real mesh of that. And let's add some smoothing. There's not really any edge to add there, so that's good. The pinch is a bit severe here. I could probably smooth it out when I'm going to apply the subdivision levels here. So no worry, I'll just make sure that the other side of it is I'm actually going to adjust the other mesh here instead. I'm going to check the chat soon. I just want to finish that part here. Let's adjust the spacing of that thing. All right, it's starting to look good. Hey Marco, has Chaos Mason ever come across client that don't pay? How to deal with it? It's rough out there, flying solo. I'd say that like the well, the people they pay, but I'd say that if you are afraid of that, um, I think that you should um check with you should maybe ask like payments up front, half that sort of stuff, like that could help you to not be too like not take like too much risk right now. Oh, wait, no, wait, that was not. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be better like that. Having difficulty fitting the pieces in my project, and the technique using them standard to fit saved my life. Cool. Yeah, I mean, then do not underestimate the power of the damn standard. So I'm not creating a hard edge to keep it. I'm actually just creating an hard edge, then smoothing out. All right, good. Now orb crack to add like a cavity feeling to this part. There we go, should be good. Eventually to this thickness we can also add like those like metal edge that I added on top. So to well integrate this plate with this thing here, because it was not like necessarily thought of. I could just create like a cavity for it, but I think I want something that's a little bit more like thought of. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to see if I can't like lift this part. Well, it's not in that direction that I wanted it. Now it's not going to be large enough though, I think. I could move it a bit or just make the mask a little bit bigger. A little bit blurrier, it's a bit too sharp for what I'm trying to accomplish. That looks good. And then I could create the the cavity in which it's placed. Maybe a bit bigger. I just added this little thing because I just thought it was a bit empty as it was. Ah, no, that did not work. Okay. Okay. And the rest we'll explore it when we do the polishing. Oh yeah, clip carve doesn't work with dynamic symmetry, so if I want to round this, I gotta do it a little bit more manually. There we go. All right. So now all the middle pieces are done. Now we can truly start the synthetic muscle placement. Hi, so when trying to learn hard surface sculpting, what would be the first thing you would need to start tackling? I think it could be getting the mileage in by trying to do an existing concept and building up as far as you can get, and then looking at the things you'd still be missing and searching for tutorials to fill the gaps in the knowledge. That's absolutely valid. I want to have some guidance tips since it's a big thing to tackle and get lost in. I'd say that like hard surface is really a matter of understanding the visual language of things, like making a mesh smooth. That's making it smooth is just it's something that is part of the visual language of hard surface. So it's not because your mesh is smooth that it's going to look hard surface or look like a sci-fi piece or a robotic piece, right? You really have to understand what are the main aspects that constitute something that is organic or something that is like mechanical, right? So visual language learn because you can sell something as a hard surface model without it being necessarily polished because you just use the right visual language. So that's something extremely important to take in consideration, I would say. Of course, the smoothness of the mesh, the hard surface, blah, 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 hard edge. This is all stuff that is like pretty much an all piece of hard surface, but it's more about like the polishing of it, I'd say. Hey, Daniel. All right, synthetic muscle time. So this one we have two overlapping for the inner thigh. For the outer thigh here, we have one overlapping. Let's do the, well, not one overlapping, but just one section of it. Let's start with this one here. I got some stuff not existent on the left side. This whole knee is just a placeholder. All the objects here are in symmetry, so I'll be putting it on the left side later. Where was I? Yeah, okay. These here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this just so I don't lose my initial mesh. Delete the morph target. I don't want to drag the morph target along. And I'll just start placing like tubes like that. A cleaner one could be good. I could even just like, for example, go in curve, click as line. Like this way, it's just like a straight line, and then I can place it. Now, since they're going to be of a certain shape, and they're all different, there's no like magic to it, I'll make one and I'll duplicate it. I won't like start like placing them and then shaping them. I'll actually, there's like advantages to both methods, to be honest. I'll work in symmetry. We're going to create both on the same side at the same time. I don't remember the material for the synthetic muscle. I think it was just like a... Let's go and see. Let's make the body reappear. I'm going to hide the entire screen with only that. And I'm going to ask it, like, what show used? Yeah, you see it's this one here. If I have the menu, it's gonna show the ones from the menu. And it's in the screen, it's gonna look at like this model as well. This is why I put it like so big. All right. So I'm going to, there we go. All right, let's place the muscle in. Let's get it to like about the shape of the surface. Extend it a little bit further. Then to make it thinner, I'm gonna mask a part of it, smooth it to about the width it needs to be, invert the mask, and oh wait, I'm still not in symmetry. Anyways, I can fix that later. Kind of like get it to the thickness it needs to be on the top part here at least. Let's mask it a little bit more and continue to do that. And then I'm going to use my smooth, directional smooth. And if you smooth in this direction, you're kind of like getting rid of the wobbliness here. I want it a little bit flatter also. So let's just H-polish it to flatten it. Be a little bit too flat here. I could just like smooth it out. It's gonna kind of like round it back. If I do a smooth relax, all right, should be good. Let's fix the other side. So mirror and weld. I just forgot to activate my symmetry on it, that's why. Okay, I think I made the synthetic muscle a little bit too thick. All right, I think this is going to be close enough. to get some decent results. Oops. It's flatter. That should be good. All right. So we're going to delete subdivisions. Now this action sometimes crashes, and it's unfortunate when it crashes, but I really like to use it. It's when you have the transpose line and we're going to copy an object. So it doesn't if it doesn't have subdivision levels, you can just click Control and drag the middle button, and it will copy it. It didn't crash, so we're good. Sometimes it just crashes out of nowhere, unfortunately. And I'm not sure what triggers it. We're gonna copy it again. Once you copy, if you copy it once, normally it's gonna let it like be copied without crashing. It's really just once in a while it decides to that this subtool is finicky in a. Well, actually, you know what? No, it's not about the subtool, because if you restart the software and you try again, it's not going to crash. It's like I don't know where it comes from. And also, it's one of those really bad crashes. It's like those crashes where like it doesn't even autosave. So not good. Okay, that looks decent enough. So now we'll take our oh, this object was not in symmetry. There you go. Neither was this one. Ah, boy, I haven't been using the symmetry on this one either. Put away pretty much everything that's the synthetic muscles. We've got the fascia parts, light cover at the end of the muscles, so that we can make these fit correctly. Little coffee sip. There we go. All the muscles fit correctly. Hello, happy to join your stream today. I hope all is well on your end. Thank you, thank you. I hope things are good as well for you. The one 3D artist. Now the spacing for each of them was not exactly the same, so I'm just checking around a little bit. All right, should be good. If the cavities in between the synthetic muscles are too large, we can always do some adjustments, like we can like flatten some areas. It makes the cavity less deep. We might need to push the mass back up, though. Let's smooth. Oh, subdivide it even more. Smooth, smooth. There we go. All right. Then we can start to place some details on that. I might keep the details for later when I'm gonna do like the detailing of the leg. We're still just in the foundation pieces. And for that reason, I'm going to remove the subdivisions, or at least the higher one, because they're useless right now. So that's good. So another rinse and repeat situation. Okay, so once again, well, we can just place the tube using this subtool. Tube. This time I'm going to remove as line because there's like a curve I need to do and I don't want to waste my time redoing the curve. Oh wait, that's true. I did have the subdivisions there. So let's pick the longest one. Oh, okay. Okay, that should be good. Good enough. Is there anything that is coming out or is already released that you're excited to see or play? Well, I really, really loved Nine Souls that came out recently. That was something I absolutely loved. Yeah, of course I want to check Wukong, see what it is. I just don't really have the time right now. But as soon as I have the time, it's got my curiosity piqued. People tell me it's not a Souls-like. I don't really play only Souls games, but although they're my favorites for sure. Like they compared it to God of War, which I'm like, yeah, God of War was super good. Yeah, that's I really like the gameplay of God of War 2. I mean God of War as well, not only God of War 2. I'm gonna delete the other one. I'm gonna actually, because it's gonna be a bit in the way, you know. And I'm also going to, no, that's going to be a bit too complex. Never mind. There's something I played recently. I was like, oh yeah, that's super good. What was it again? Trying to remember. Oh, I actually found a mobile game that I think is pretty fun. It's called Shattered Pixel Dungeon, I think, or Shattered Dungeon Pixel, something like that. It's a roguelike. It's free on the mobile actually. I like the game so much I even like donated, even if the game was free. It's pretty good. It's really complex and you kind of like have to read a little bit on how to play correctly because it's not super well explained. It's really fun. It's a little game you can have on your phone and just play on your like when you're waiting for something or whatever, just chilling. But yeah, Nine Souls, that was really, really good. Man, I feel like I did try something else. I played the Thing Goodness You're Here, which is from the same creators as Untitled Goose Game. That was pretty cool. That was fun. It's really short. It's more like watching a show and you play. There's like a bit of platformer. It was fun. I liked it. Yeah, you like that one? Yeah, that was cool. But man, I know I played something else. Well, I played the DLC of Elden Ring. Um, I'm gonna say sacrilegious. I didn't care much for it. I preferred the main game by far. I played Sekiro recently, trying to show my friend how to play it. Like I didn't play much game lately, so it's hard to remember if it comes back to mind. I'll let you know. So the synthetic muscle, how they were drawn on my blocking doesn't really make much sense. Well, it's no, that not that it doesn't make much sense, but it's not like respecting perfectly the tapering of the muscles. So I'm more gonna like do it myself with the tools, the polished ones, the subtools, I meant, sorry. Rather than following my blocking, I mean. You seem like you will be a Wokung type of guy. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I do. I, the same way that I really liked Nine Souls. There's always something like exotic when you dive into like a game from a different culture, and I think I'm gonna appreciate the this aspect of the game for sure. Gameplay seems I heard that the gameplay was good, so as long as the gameplay is good, I'm fine with that. I get bored when the gameplay is not like exciting or whatever, but as far as I know, they said I heard that it was pretty good. I know I just heard good things, so I'll check it out. It's I don't care I don't hear so much about like that whole controversy about like how they actually told streamers to not talk about like certain subjects while streaming. I mean, I think that sucks though, like big time. Kind of like kind of censoring. I don't appreciate much in the censorship of it, but yeah, I'm not gonna stream it, so. Marco, what brushes do you use the depth adjustment with, or is it mostly IMM? Actually, it is a lot of them. I use it. So I was using it like on my other project like a few seconds ago. Uh, okay, all right. Let me. It's teaser time. Exclusive teaser time. I'm gonna show you something. I hope it's not gonna make the computer crash though, because the software crash, because I'm gonna be opening a lot of like big files. Close this. So I'm actually revisiting the Elementalist, because the first time I did them, I kind of like I didn't. They're in the same realm as Neo Apocalypse, right? So the Four Horsemen, the Archangels, and but they never had like a beast with them and something like that. And I was looking at them recently, and I was like, I don't know why I held back from giving them a beast. So I decided to go through all of the characters and to like enhance them. So while adding them a beast, some of them I also like redesigned a few things that I saw I could make better, I think. And so yeah, basically I'm gonna show you like the new version of Earth. Now, that being said, Earth I have not changed. I've I've not changed much. I just changed the pose and I added some like armor pieces. So this one is not like a good example of what I'm currently doing with the project. I'm just gonna show a bit what I'm going for. So this is the oops, wait. There we go. This is the new version for Earth. So it's just like a change of the pose, change of the base a little bit, so that like feels like there's more like control around the base and stuff. Um, I removed the mushroom, added some armor. So there's like a few things like here and there. It's not the biggest changes for this one, but the reason why I'm showing you this is because the wait, I'll just do a little turn around. Might as well show it a little bit. And a little bit without the materials. So there we go. And the reason why I'm showing you that is because, well, there's two heads. There's like this one and this one, right? Right now I'm working on the horns. The horns are like I've reshaped the shape of the horns of this one just to look more like a beast, like a mufflin, I think it's called them. And what I wanted to show is that to create like the scaling of the horns like that. First of all, what I did, I'll show you with my layers, is oh yeah, I'm losing my history because there's too much big stuff open on the RAM. So you see like okay, so this was my kind of like my first pass of like just like creating that movement on the horns with where like it becomes bigger when it actually dips in, that sort of stuff, right? Then I added the well this layer of like details, right? Okay. But what I wanted to give it like more of a like old feel to it. So what I started to do is just like adding those kind of like ridges to the horn and cracks. But I wanted to make these cracks kind of like overlap a little bit more over the other ones, and this is what I started to do. Like this, I started to do that this morning, and the way I'm able to grab just the top part and drag it on top and be quick at it is basically by taking the move brush. I put the AQ curve so it just like it spikes when I pull on it, but also adding the depth mask to about like here, so that when let's say I take this and I pull, you see it just pulls the top because it doesn't actually grab the layer at the bottom. So like now rapidly I can just grab the top layer and it does not like move the bottom layer. Or if it does, you can just like adjust until like you found the correct amount, right? And this way you can really just like almost create like a scale effect. And you just need to have like somewhat like of a existing ridge. So you can take, for example, your dam standard. You can just like out, so it creates a ridge, you see? But like now the ridge is not overlapping and it's going to be hard to make it overlap, but you can take your move and just like move it like that. Well, that was not really aesthetically well done right there, but whatever, that's the idea of how to create like that like overlapping thing. So because you've used depth and you capitalize on the fact that here and here are two different like levels of height, while your move brush is acting differently. So there we go. So yeah, there was a couple of questions that popped. Give me a sec. So the seem like brushes just mostly how many hours does it take to complete a model like this? Oh, well, that's a long time, for sure. Plus the like the posing on top and everything. So I'd say that probably like if I was to work 8 hours per day on it, I'd say probably something like 3 weeks, I guess. Plus, like this is something that I care a lot because it's one of my universes that I love to work on. So I'm very critical about it, and sometimes I'll even like restart something that I didn't like. Yeah, this guy, I'm gonna try to add some moss on top of him, and he's probably going to be the adjustments are probably going to be finished. I'll be able to texture him and that sort of stuff. How do you get that sculpted texture on the horns and skin? Looks fantastic. Well, yeah, I hope that's what I showed. That's what I wanted to show. I hope it answered that question. That poor CPU with this torture. Yeah, I think it's more like the RAM that's having a hard time right now than the CPU. But yeah, same Fredo, nice. Thanks. Could you show a quick demonstration of how this is sculpted? The horns, yeah. Well, I hope I answered the question with the horns. Yeah. Good tip. Thanks. Well, thank you. Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, a bunch of stuff on this one here for sure. Cool. All right. So let's get rid of that model. The only problem is that I don't think it's gonna like I don't know if it did empty the RAM cache. We'll see. All right. Okay, so we're done for the first layer, so I'm going to be working on the second layer now. So same thing. gonna be working on it on a different material, on a different different subtool. So by the way, I know it's not respecting necessarily the true synthetic muscles of the leg, but it's still it's the direction I want to be using for it. Oh yeah, by the way, talking about like games and stuff. In terms of like movies and that sort of stuff, I've watched something recently that I thought that was pretty good. It's a movie. It's called Perfect Days. It's a pretty slow movie. Oh, I was in depth mask. There we go. It's a pretty slow movie. It's really nice though. It's the story of a dude that cleans toilets in Japan, and he has like a pretty simple life. I mean, and like, and it's the story of like him living like this very simple life around people that are like having all those complicated things happening to them, right? And they're kind of like looking down at him because it's his life is not exciting, right? But it's like an exploration of like how to find like happiness in this small thing, right? But also it's like the journey of this guy, like understanding like where he comes from, um, that sort of stuff. It's really nice. Also, I mean, it's been so long that I went to Japan, so it was really nice to kind of like immerse myself again in a very small and distant way for sure. But it was nice. I appreciated it a lot. So yeah, very good movie. Perfect Days. Of course, it's a dubbed sorry, it's a subbed movie. I don't think there's dubbing of it, and also I think that you would make yourself you would not make your do yourself a favor by listening to it um not in the original language. Plus, also, I mean, it's like it's not really like a there's like the protagonist is almost like a silent protagonist, so it's not like there's so much dialogue and shit. I think I'm gonna try to just like copy it two by two to make things faster. They all have somewhat the same like curve progression, so Daniel, how big is your RAM? 128? It's stated that you still have 43 GB free memory. Um, I have 64. I did buy 128 at the beginning, but the computer was crashing all the time because there was too much RAM. So I reduced the amount of RAM to 64 just for the stability of the machine. And I mean, in the end, it ended up. I don't feel like I need more RAM. I think 128 was a bit of excessive. And I talked to the guy at the computer store at the electronics store, and he he basically told me that in his opinion, or as far as he knows, and he did seem to know quite a lot, he told me that the at some point having a lot of RAM is something you'll want to do if you have to have like a lot of software open and stuff at the same time, but within like one application, it's really rare that like you're going to load like 128 gigs of RAM basically. So and like he knew what kind of work I was doing, and I was still his opinion. So I was like, okay, well that's interesting, and that's why I decided to downgrade to 64, which, like I said, got rid of some very nasty blue screens they kept having. So yeah. So I'm gonna reduce kind of like the I'm gonna change the curve of the muscles, but as like a group, because it's not flowing the way that I want. Now it's better. I'll try placing 3 at a time this time. Oops, no. I have to keep them visible up here. How much am I missing now? 1? Yeah, I think I'm just missing 1. Place this last one, then we'll be able to polish it as a group. Man, I'm getting hungry. Jesus. I am like hungry all the time these days, and I have no idea why. Like I started to do more like heavy lifting at the gym, but like not to a crazy amount. Like not one that I feel like deserves like this revisiting of like my intake. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just always hungry. And like not like, oh, I want to like eat food, but like no, I am like physically like hungry. Anyway, that's my life. All right, let's reduce the remove the blockings of the synthetic muscles here. I'm just gonna put back the torso a bit so we know what we're working on. Yeah, I could remove even like the top here, like that. There we go. Hey Marco, goddamn, I have been watching your recordings of your streams on YouTube for like 2 years now. It's the first time I catch you live. Well, welcome. Welcome. Welcome to the live show, where you never know what's gonna happen. weird. I feel like... Yeah, I think there's supposed to be like a flap here. Oh my god, I was working in dynamic symmetry. Okay, this part I'll have to revisit later, because I'm not sure how I'm going to work with that, but okay. Let's start with the front. Chibi Ghost, good day. Good day to you. Also in terms of music, we've talked about video game, movies. In terms of music, I've been listening to a little bit more to Animal as Leaders, kind of like metal jazz, or if you want to be a stickler, maybe we could say some gent jazz, gent metal jazz, whatever. It's pretty good. Um, and also, like I discovered this new metal band. Well, I call it new metal. I think it's the it's new. It's the way people would call it. This new metal band called Cult to Follow, and it's pretty good. I like the voice of the guy. The guitarist is having a lot of fun. It shows, and yeah, it's pretty good. Um, is there a better is it better to have one subtool that is heavy in polygon or five subtools that are segmented in smaller portions? Oh, second one, absolutely, absolutely, all day. Better to have many subtools. Now, I'm just talking about not I'm not talking about like function in terms of like method or that sort of stuff. I'm just saying like in terms of like processing for the computer, it's better that they're split. Sometimes though having them all separate can be a hassle. So in terms of like the your method, your workflow, that sort of stuff, so that's to be taken in consideration. Could I please explain why? I don't think that I have an explanation. I can simply say that like by with experience I've realized that if I have like four subtools of a million instead of like one subtool of a million, uh, it was like better for the computer. It run faster. In the computer, I mean like the scene, right? So yeah, it's just by experience. I don't really have like an explanation, but sometimes if you want to be able to work on like many things at the same time or move a big part of the character, if they're like split in so many subtools, it can be like a pain in the ass because it means you have to go in transpose master, which is it's fine. I love transpose master, but sometimes you just want to get something done quickly, and uh, and yeah, it's it can be in your way basically. Marco, you guys had the Job Opportunities channel in Discord and it's gone now. You still hired for Chaos Masons? It's gone. No, it's still there. Just we haven't been using it lately because we don't need to hire new people. I'm just gonna reduce the thickness of this one muscle because we can see like the muscle going in and clipping inside. Or you know what I could do actually? That could be interesting. I could... Oh, yeah. I'm gonna try something actually. This is gonna be a placeholder for the moment. Not a tube, but a strap. Okay, I'm gonna separate it from this group. Right away, I'm gonna give it a darker color. Oops. I'm gonna have it go along the edge of that muscle group. I'm gonna use it as like a separator for the muscle group. This separator, I'm also going to have it kind of like extend in between like some of these muscles here. Maybe he even have one like Ooh, thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. Also, what I'm thinking of doing is like relatively enough times I get asked like what material I'm using and that sort of stuff. I'm actually thinking of creating some kind of like package that people can just like download that would have like a few like matte caps that I use, some tools that I use that I think people like would be helpful for people. Of course, it'll be free. It's just like it's not going to be like super useful, but it's going to be something that like enough times people ask me to share, and so I'll figure out like some fun stuff in there, and I'm gonna make it public at some point. I'm gonna figure out like the correct depth for these things later. This is just mostly a placeholder for me to remember. And with that, these groups of muscles are also pretty much done. So we're going to mirror and weld, make it symmetrical. I'll merge those two. There we go. All right, so we're done with the synthetic muscle for the thigh. If we look at this, we still have some cloth, some fascia, some straps. And that's pretty much it for the thigh. So we're pretty much at the end of the stream. Uh, no, I'll place the fascia another time. It can take a little while. There's a few pieces, but yeah. So once again, it's kind of like a part that can be redundant. Dare I say, boring at time, placing those like foundation blocks and stuff. But once they're well placed, it makes the detailing super easy, makes it fun. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. Wait, this is not symmetrical. I always forget to. Oops. Other way. There we go. Cool. Let's show the entire character. All right, we're this much closer. All right. Yeah. Well, I think that we're pretty much done here actually. I'll call for a little raid And yeah, so next week I should be fine. Well, we never know, right, what can happen, but I'm not planning on having like any big projects and that sort of stuff. I should be available next week around the same time. So, anyways, thanks for coming, and I hope you learned some cool stuff, some not cool stuff too. And yeah, anyway, take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week.